A daughter's love. The plastic plate trembled in small hands as 10-year-old Araise knelt beside her mother in the dirt. Around them, the evening market was closing, vendors packing away unsold goods, the air thick with the smell of overripe plantains and exhaust fumes. Her mother sat against the crumbling wall of an abandoned shop, eyes distant, fingers plucking at the air as if pulling invisible threads. "Mama, I brought jollof rice today," Araise whispered, though she knew her mother might not respond. "Mama Ngozi said I could take the pot scrapings." The woman's lips moved soundlessly, forming words that belonged to conversations only she could hear. Her wrapper was dirty, her hair matted, but when Araise lifted the spoon to her mouth, she ate. Always, she ate when her daughter fed her. And sometimes, just sometimes, her eyes would clear for a moment and find Araise's face, and something like recognition would flicker there. This was their routine. Morning before school, Araise would bring gari and soup. Afternoon, after classes, whatever Mama Ngozi could spare from the restaurant. Evening, she would sit with her mother as darkness fell over the market, watching her rock and murmur, sometimes draping a long-sleeved shirt over her arms to keep the mosquitoes away. "Who got her pregnant?" people would ask, shaking their heads. She was already mad when the baby came. But Mama Ngozi, who ran the small restaurant on the corner, had taken Araise in, fed her, sent her to school, gave her a place to sleep on a mat in the back room. "That woman was my friend once, before her mind broke. The least I can do is care for her child." 10 years passed like water through fingers. Araise grew tall and strong, her school uniform always pressed, her hair always braided neatly despite everything. She worked in Mama Ngozi's restaurant after school, washing dishes, sweeping floors, serving customers, and every single day, 3 times a day, she brought food to her mother. At 20, on the day her WAEC results arrived, Araise ran all the way to the market clutching the envelope. Her mother sat in her usual spot, talking to the air. "Mama, look, I passed everything." Araise knelt down, spreading the paper before her. 5 credits, Mama, including English and mathematics." Her mother looked at the paper, then at Araise's face. A smile broke across her weathered features, and she nodded, reaching out to touch her daughter's cheek with surprising gentleness. In that moment, Araise saw her, really saw her, the person her mother might have been, the love that lived beneath the confusion. "I'm going to university, Mama. I'm going to make you proud." But 3 days later, Mama Ngozi called her into the restaurant's small office. "Sit down, Araise." The older woman's face was heavy with regret. "I don't have money for university fees. The business, it's not doing well, and you know my own children need school fees too." She paused. "You'll work for me full-time now. I'll pay you small salary. It's the best I can do." Araise felt something crack inside her chest, but she nodded. "Thank you, Mama Ngozi. You've done so much for me already. I'll never forget your kindness." And she meant it. Mama Ngozi had raised her when no one else would. So Araise worked. She arrived early, left late, saved every naira she could, and with her small salary, she began buying things for her mother. New wrappers, bright and clean, a blanket for cold nights, hair oil to smooth through the matted locks. She would sit with her mother in the evenings, combing her hair gently while her mother hummed tuneless songs. One evening, as Araise was leaving the market, Mama Ngozi appeared beside her. "You buy your mother new clothes, but you still wear the same 2 dresses." Her voice was sharp. "I raised you from 10 years old. 10 years, Araise, and what do I get? Old dresses and thank you?" Araise stopped, stunned. "Mama Ngozi, it's not like that. You have a house, food, everything you need. My mother sleeps on the street. She needs help more than I need appreciation. Mama Ngozi's voice rose. I need to see that my sacrifice mattered. It does matter. Mama, you matter so much to me. But Mama Ngozi had already turned away, her shoulders stiff with anger. 2 days later, everything changed. Don't take that food, Mama Ngozi said when Araise reached for the leftover rice. We can still sell it tomorrow. But Mama, my mother. Your mother has survived this long. One missed meal won't kill her. So Araise used her own money to buy bread and groundnuts from a vendor. It wasn't much, but it was something. The next day, Mama Ngozi stopped giving her pocket money. The day after that, Araise overheard her telling customers, "Don't give that girl anything, she's becoming spoiled." The rainy season arrived with violent storms that turned the market into a swamp. Araise's mother had no shelter, just the slight overhang of the abandoned shop that did nothing against the driving rain. Every evening, Araise found her soaked through, shivering. I need to get her a room, Araise told herself, counting her dwindling savings. But between buying food and medicine and the bare necessities, there was never enough. The evening it happened, the rain had been falling for 3 days straight. Araise rushed to the market after work, her heart pounding with unnamed dread. Her mother was huddled against the wall, wrapped in a thin blanket that was soaked through. She was shaking so violently her teeth chattered, her lips blue, her eyes unfocused. Mama! Araise dropped to her knees, touching her face. It was burning hot. Mama, can you hear me? Her eyes rolled toward her, but there was no recognition there, just fever and confusion, and something else, something that looked like surrender. Araise ran. She ran faster than she ever had, bursting into the restaurant where Mama Ngozi was cleaning tables. Please, my mother is very sick. She's shaking and burning, and I think something is very wrong. Mama Ngozi barely looked up. Your mother has been through worse than this. Mad people are strong. They survive things that would kill normal people. Now go back to work, we have dishes. But Mama, I said go back to work. Araise looked around at the other people in the restaurant, customers she had served for 10 years, neighbors who had watched her grow up. Their eyes slid away from hers. No one moved. Araise ran again, this time to the chemist 3 streets over. Mr. Okafor, the pharmacist, listened to her desperate explanation and grabbed his bag immediately. Show me, he said simply. They ran through the rain together past Mama Ngozi's restaurant. The older woman looked up as they passed, and something in Araise's face must have told her this was different. She followed, and others followed too, a small crowd gathering as they rushed toward the market. But when they arrived, Araise's mother was lying on her side in the mud, still a stone. In her hand, clutched across her chest, was a small, water-damaged photograph. Araise recognized it, a picture someone had taken of her in her school uniform 2 years ago. Her mother had kept it all this time, held it through rain and sun and all the chaos in her mind. Mr. Okafor knelt beside the woman, checking for a pulse. After a moment, he looked up at Araise and slowly shook his head. The world went silent. Araise couldn't hear the rain anymore, couldn't hear the murmurs of the crowd gathering behind her. She walked forward slowly, as if in a dream, and lay down beside her mother in the mud. She pulled the cold body into her arms, not caring about the rain or the dirt or the people watching. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm sorry I couldn't get you a room. I'm sorry I couldn't make you well again. Behind her, Mama Ngozi was standing frozen, her hand over her mouth. I didn't know, she kept saying. I didn't know it was this serious. But Araise didn't hear her. She held her mother and cried as the rain washed over them both. And in that moment, she understood something terrible, that her mother had survived 20 years of madness and hardship and living on the streets. But what killed her in the end was simply being seen as less than human, less worthy of help, less deserving of dignity. Mad people can't die from this, Mama Ngozi had said. But they could. They did. Later, much later, after they had taken her mother's body away and Araise had been pulled from the mud by gentle hands, Mr. Okafor sat with her. "She knew you loved her," he said quietly. "Every single day she knew. That picture in her hand proves it." Araise nodded, unable to speak. "The world looks at people like your mother and sees problems," Mr. Okafor continued. "Burdens, people to ignore or chase away. But you saw a mother. You saw someone worth loving, worth caring for, worth fighting for. That matters, Araise. Even though it ended like this, your love mattered." Around them, the market was quiet except for the rain. People walked past with their heads down, shame written on their faces. They had seen, they had known, they had chosen not to help until it was too late. And that, Araise thought, was perhaps the greatest tragedy of all. Not that her mother had died, but that she had died alone in the cold, while dozens of people who could have helped simply looked the other way. Because in the end, a little help could have meant everything. A room, a blanket, a phone call to a hospital, the smallest gesture of human dignity. But small things only matter when people choose to give them, and too often the world chooses not to see.